There is a moment when safety feels like a prison, when obedience looks like isolation, when the silence outside is louder than the storm inside. Noah stood in that moment, and the door shut. Noah, in the belly of a world about to break. The weight of every living thing balanced on a single breath, a single door. You know his name, but do you know the smell of tar on unhewn timber? The damp musk of goat and dove pressed close in the dark. Humidity thick as wool pressing into the lungs. Listen, the hull groans. Not from strain, not yet, but from the slow flecks of unseasoned oak, still green with the memory of forest shade. A creak like a joint not yet broken in. The ribs of the vessel whisper to one another, unaware of the violence to come. Air grows heavy, thick in the chest. The sky, once blue then yellow, now bruises into a green no eye has seen. Not the green of leaves, not the green of life. A sickly, pulsing hue, as if the heavens themselves were infected. Then, deep below, a shudder. Not thunder, not wind. The earth splits open, fountains of the great deep. Water erupts from the bones of the world, not falling from above, bursting, gushing, exploding upward through cracks in the crust. Stone screams, soil boils. The ground drinks nothing, it vomits. Outside, the land vanishes. Water climbs. Not rain, not flood, a rising, a swallowing, a wall of liquid climbing the hills, dragging trees, homes, hands. A child's sandal floats past the porthole, then gone. Inside, silence, not peace. A hollow, a void where prayer once lived. No voice, no answer. Only the drip of condensation on cedar beams, the breath of beasts, the pulse in Noah's throat. God does not speak. God does not move. God does not breathe with them. Genesis 7:16. Not a man's hand on a latch, not a bolt drawn shut. The Lord shut him in. A seal, divine, absolute, final. No turning back, no second knock. The door, iron-bound, tarred, massive. It closes, not with a slam, but with a thud. Deep, resonant, like a tomb, like a heartbeat stopping. The sound rolls through the hull, through the bones, through time. A punctuation mark at the end of the world. Darkness, not night, not shadow. A suffocation of light. Thunder cracks, white veins across the sky. And for one last moment, the smell, sharp, electric, the scent of rain hitting dry dust. The earth's final breath. The last time that smell will ever rise. You stand at the edge of that moment, not as observer, as participant. What would you hear? What would you feel? And when the door sealed, would you believe it was mercy or the end of all things? 7 days. No rain, only sky, hard and hollow, like a dome of beaten brass. The ark, complete, sealed. A mountain of timber resting on dry earth. Not floating, not yet, just waiting. The animals inside, lowing, snorting, shifting in the dark. A donkey brays, a lion coughs. The air thick with dung and breath, with the sour tang of fear. Feeding time, again. Hay passed through slats, grains measured in trembling hands, water sloshed from barrel to trough. The rhythm of survival mechanical, endless. 7 days, 7 sunrises, 7 sunsets, each one longer than the last. Outside, laughter. Mocking voices carried on the wind, stones thrown at the hull. Thud, thud, then giggles. Noah the fool, Noah the dreamer. They danced on the hillside, drank wine, sang songs of scorn. One man stood apart, young, barefoot. He spat toward the ramp. "When the flood comes, preacher, will you save me, or drown me with the rest?" the words cut. Not because they were loud, but because they were close. Close enough to see the yellow in his teeth, close enough to smell the rot in his breath. Methuselah, his name a whisper in Noah's bones. The old man, gone, just before the clouds gathered. A life stretched longer than memory, then snapped, like a dry reed. His funeral pyre still warm when the command came. Enter the ark. No coincidence. A signal. The last breath of mercy exhaled. The clock had run down. The world had been given its full measure, and it had spilled over with blood. He remembered the streets, not as they were now, silent, cracked, overgrown with thistle and vine, but as they had been, crowded, violent, men with knives in their belts and hunger in their eyes, children flinching at shadows, women vanishing at dusk. Justice? There was no such thing. Only strength, only conquest. A man could take what he wanted, and did. The earth cried out, not in words, in silence, in the way trees bent from stones thrown in rage, in the way dogs howled at night, not at the moon, but at the things done beneath it. He had spoken, for decades, in marketplaces, at wells, on the steps of fallen temples. Turn, he said, the Creator sees. They called him mad, called his warnings wind talk, but he kept speaking, even when his voice cracked, even when his sons looked away ashamed. Preacher of righteousness. The words felt heavy now, like stones in his mouth. Had any listened? Had any turned? Or had they all just waited for him to fail? Inside, the animals stirred. Not just pairs, not just 2 by 2. The clean, 7 of each. 7 sheep, 7 doves, 7 cows. A pattern, a purpose. Not just survival, sacrifice. The altar was not yet built, but the offering was already chosen. The distinction mattered. Even here, even now. Even before the law, the bloodline was kept. The future of worship packed in cages, breathing, defecating, sleeping in straw. The number 7, everywhere. The days, the clean beasts, the rhythm of God's timing. Not human, not hurried, complete, whole, a circle with no end. He counted them in his head. 7 breaths, 7 heartbeats, 7 stars visible through the high vent as night fell. The same stars his father had seen, the same stars that watched the first murder. The same stars now silent, indifferent, cold. His family, the only ones who believed, the only ones who followed. Shem, Ham, Japheth, their wives. 10 souls, that was all. The entire world narrowed to 10 sets of footsteps on the deck, 10 voices in the dark, 10 shadows cast by the oil lamp. The weight of being chosen, not honored, burdened. To know that every face outside, every laugh, every curse was marked for erasure, and that he alone had been spared the blindness. 120 years, the span of a lifetime, the time it took to build. And in all that time, no word, no sign, just the voice that said, build, and then silence. A silence so deep it pressed on the eardrums. A silence that made him doubt his own memory. Had God spoken, or had he dreamed it? The hammer, the saw, the tar, all built on a whisper. And now, after 12 decades of labor, the only command, come in. No explanation, no comfort, just the door and the waiting. The true weight was not the timber, not the animals, not the food stored in bins, the water in casks. It was this, to be the only one who heard, to carry a truth no one else could bear, to stand in the middle of a world drunk on violence and say, it will end, and be laughed at, to love them, even as he knew they would not be saved, to grieve them before they were gone. The weight was not in the hull, it was in the chest, in the space where hope and horror pressed against each other, neither winning, just enduring. The air still, the sky still, the earth still, and the world holding its breath, waiting for the first drop. Year 600 of Noah's life, month 2, day 17. The date carved, not in stone, but in the shudder of the planet's spine. No trumpet, no warning cry. Only the world exhaling downward into its own ruin. Below, rupture. Not a crack, a tearing. The fountains of the great deep heaved open, as if the earth had swallowed too much and now vomited its burden. Water, black and boiling, surged from the core, from the hidden chambers beneath bedrock, from places no root had ever reached. It did not flow, it exploded. Geyser after geyser, like the lungs of the abyss convulsing. Stones shattered, valleys collapsed, rivers reversed. The ground buckled like wet parchment. Above, the sky split, not clouds parting, the firmament itself unsealed. Windows, as if heaven were a vault and its hinges gave way. Rain did not fall, it was poured. A deluge from beyond the stars. Not water from clouds, but from the outer dark. Cold, endless, a curtain of liquid night descending. This was no storm, this was undoing. The breath of God once hovered over the faceless deep, now it withdrew. The order of creation unraveled, light and dark blurred, sea and sky merged. The land, once separated, drowned beneath the returning chaos. Genesis 1, reversed. Not let there be light, but let there be nothing. 40 days, 40 nights, the number of testing, of trial, of purification by fire, but here by flood. The rain did not cease. It hammered the surface like 1,000 anvils. Each drop struck with the weight of judgment. The air itself became water. Breathing was swallowing. The wind screamed through the deluge, a chorus of lost voices. The waters prevailed, a word for conquest, for siege, for armies storming a city's gate. And here, the waters were the army. They advanced, they surrounded, they breached, they occupied. No fortress stood, no mountain resisted. The highest peaks, once touched by eagles, by snow, by the prayers of climbers, now buried beneath the assault. 15 cubits, 22 feet, the depth of a temple, the height of a cedar. Water rose that far above the tallest summit. No ridge, no crag, no sacred high place. All erased, the world flattened beneath a single, heaving sheet. The map dissolved, the known became unknown. All flesh died, not just man, not just beast, every winged thing, every creeping thing, every creature that drew breath outside the ark. The birds fell from the sky, their feathers waterlogged, their songs cut short. The cattle drowned in fields, eyes wide, mouths open in silent gasps. The wild things, lion, wolf, deer, clawed at floating logs until the current wrenched them under. No distinction, no exception, only death. The mountains vanished, not hidden, not obscured, covered, swallowed. The landmarks of 1,000 generations, shrines, burial mounds, the ruins of ancient cities, now silt at the bottom of an endless sea. The pyramids of forgotten kings, the temples of false gods, the homes built with blood and pride, all reduced to silence beneath the weight of water. And the ark. It rose, not by oar, not by sail, by surrender, by buoyancy. While everything else sank, it climbed, a single vessel lifting into the void. Wood groaned, beams strained, but it stayed afloat, the only thing moving upward in a world collapsing downward. A speck, a box, a coffin, a cradle. 150 days, 5 months, half a year. The waters did not recede. They ruled, they reigned, they held dominion. The surface churned, vast and directionless. No shore, no horizon. Only wave after wave, rolling in every direction, as if the planet had become a spinning globe of liquid. Every poem, every song, every monument, every name carved in stone, every child's drawing in the dust, all gone. The libraries of the ancient world burned not by flame, but by flood. The achievements of centuries, architecture, art, language, dissolved into the deep. No record, no echo, only water where cities once stood. Noah spoke no word, no prayer, no cry. The text is silent, only action, feeding the animals, checking the seals, listening to the rain, the breath of oxen, the rustle of straw, the drip of condensation on the ceiling, the creak of the hull. But no voice, no lament, no praise, only presence, only endurance. This was not a battle, not a struggle, not a fight for survival. It was surrender, total, absolute. The world did not resist, it yielded. The mountains bowed, the trees released their roots, the people let go. The flood did not rage against resistance, it consumed what was already broken. Judgment was not an invasion, it was an acceptance. The earth had long been dying, now it was finished. The rain ceased, not with a sigh, not with a fade, but with absence. One moment, the roar. The next, only the lap of water against wood. The wind stilled, the clouds parted, not by degrees, by withdrawal, as if the heavens had closed their mouths. The waters remained for months. They did not flee. They lingered, they pressed down, they covered, but they no longer advanced. The siege was over, the conquest complete. The earth, stripped bare, floated in silence. Inside, 10 souls, 20 eyes, 10 hearts beating in the dark. The animals quiet. The air thick with the scent of wet fur and hay. The floor sticky with droppings, the lamps low, but alive, still breathing, still waiting. The ark, adrift, alone. The last thing afloat on a dead world. No land, no bird, no sign. Only the endless roll of the sea, stretching to every edge of sight. And above, sky, pale, empty, watchful. The judgment had come. The flood had done its work. The old world was gone. And in the silence, beneath the weight of what had passed, the future floated, small, fragile, sealed in wood and pitch, riding the grave of the earth. Light. First light. Not the slow blush of dawn, but a sudden tear in the cloud, gold spilling through, sharp as a blade. Rain-soaked bark steams, mist curls from the treetops like prayers uncoiled. The air, clean, thin, carrying the scent of wet moss, split cedar, earth turned fresh. A single drop falls from a leaf, then silence. Not empty, full, as if the world is holding its breath beneath a new sky. One verse, just one, and it cracks the whole story open. 1 Peter 3:20-21. Not a footnote, a doorway. The floodwaters receding, now pointing. Not backward, forward, to a tomb, sealed, then split, to a man drowned in death, then lifted into life. The ark did not float towards safety. It sailed toward resurrection. Noah stepped onto mud and found a beginning. Christ stepped out of a grave and made all things new. Safety, not in strength, not in height, not in walls thick enough to stop a storm. Safety in enclosure, in being held. The ark, no fortress, no warship, a box, a vessel. The only place untouched by divine reckoning. Just as Christ, no conqueror on a horse, but a man on a cross. The only ground where wrath passed over, where judgment fell and found its full weight answered. One door, set in the side, not bronze, not iron, wood, hewn, fitted, closed from the outside. God shut it, not Noah, not his sons. The hand that barred the world out was divine. And Jesus, standing in a garden post-dawn, wounds still open, says, I am the door. Not a path, not a gate, the door, the only entrance, the only egress, to life, to breath, to being counted among the living. Wood, the same that bore the rain, the same that bore the nails. The ark, drenched, lifted, tossed, held firm, not by design, by covering, by pitch, black, sticky, smearing hands, soaking into grain. Inside, outside, every seam, every joint, sealed. The Hebrew knows this word, kafar, not just cover, atone, pacify, make whole. The same word used for the mercy seat in the temple. The same word whispered over sin. The pitch, blood before blood. A shadow of the Lamb, whose life would be poured out, whose body would be the covering for a world soaked in guilt. Noah did not climb aboard because he was clean. He entered because he was called, not righteous by effort, righteous by invitation. He walked in, stumbling, tired, soaked to the bone, not because he had earned the space, but because the builder had left a place for him. And so we, no better, no purer, step into Christ, not by merit, by mercy. We do not save ourselves, we are carried. The flood, a drowning, yes, but not mere destruction, a washing. The world scrubbed raw, not with soap, with deluge. Every trace of violence, every echo of corruption, every monument to pride, scoured from the face of the deep. And baptism? Not a bath, not a ritual rinse. It is descent into water, into death. The old self, sunk, the new, raised, not by will, by water and spirit. The filth is not on the skin, it is in the bones, and only this flood can cleanse it. Yet, baptism does not scrub dirt, it answers, a cry, a plea from deep within, for a conscience no longer heavy with shame, for a heart no longer numb. It is not the water that saves, it is the appeal made through the water to God, for grace, for new breath, for a name spoken over you in the silence beneath the waves. God shut them in, not locked out, locked in, protected, preserved. The same hand that sealed the ark now seals the believer, not with wood and pitch, with breath, with fire, with presence. The Holy Spirit, no mere force, a seal, a mark, a guarantee. Not that the storm will cease, but that you will not be lost in it. The ark did not stop the rain, did not calm the waves, did not part the flood. It held, it floated, it endured, and in its holding, life. So Christ. We are not spared suffering, not exempt from chaos, but in him we are held. The safety is not in escape, it is in inclusion, in being inside the one who rides the storm and does not sink. Noah was saved from the world, from its noise, its violence, its endless turning toward death. But we are saved from the age, not just the dirt beneath our feet, the spirit of the times, the pull of the crowd, the weight of what everyone else believes. The cross lifts us out of the current of this world's making and sets us on a new shore. 8, not 7, not 10, 8. 8 souls, a number beyond completion, beyond rest, into new creation. Circumcision on the 8th day, new life marked in flesh. Christ rose on the first day of the week, day 1 of a new week. Day 8, resurrection life, not repaired, not restored, raised, transformed. Noah stepped onto wet earth and began again. We step out of baptism and live, no longer under the reign of sin, but under the rule of grace. The sun climbs. It strikes the water, now still, now glass. It glints off the wet hull. The ark rests, grounded, not by accident, by design. And somewhere, deep in the roots of a new tree, sap rises. A bird calls, one note, then another. The world, washed, waiting, breathing, you, not alone, held. The world spins, frantic, beneath a sky that forgets how to be still. But here, this quiet, this slowness, the river moves, not rushing, not fleeing, just going, carried by something deeper than current, something older than time. Gold spills across the water, not fire, not flame, a hush of light. The sun low, kissing the edge of everything. Ripples shimmer like breath on glass. You feel it? The cool air rising from the surface, the faint damp on your skin, the way the reeds bend, not broken but yielding. This is not escape, this is rest, a different rhythm, one that does not answer to the clamour beyond. They laugh now, as they did then, mock the thought of reckoning, call it myth, superstition, fear dressed in robes. They build their towers, tap their screens, chase the next wave, blind to the tide creeping up the shore. The door stands open, still, not barred, not chained, but it will close, and when it does, it will not be by human hand. You know what you're clinging to, that ambition, that secret, that pride wrapped in practicality, the thing you think keeps you safe. It floats, but it is not an ark. It has no covering, no seal, no promise. Let it go. The drift is not loss, not confusion, not wandering. It is movement under guidance, unseen, unhurried. The waters rise, the world dissolves. And yet, forward, not by your strength, not by your oars, but by the deep purpose beneath. The storm came, it roared, it shattered, and still the vessel rode. Not because it was mighty, because it was shut in. By God, His hand, not yours. That same hand now rests upon you, not pushing, not prodding, holding. The church, small, fragile, a speck on the swell, yet it does not sink, it cannot, not while the breath of heaven stirs within its timbers. Are you watching the rain, standing dry, arms crossed, analyzing the clouds? Or are you inside, where the air is thick with life, where the only sound is the soft shuffle of creatures breathing in the dark, where the floor sways but does not break? Look down, feel the wood beneath your feet, solid, pitch-sealed, not perfect, but sufficient. The flood passed, the waters lingered,
then receded, slowly, inch by inch.
The mountaintops appeared, like bones rising from a dream. Dry land, not untouched, but renewed, washed, waiting. And now, this, the hush after, the breath before speech. The safety was never in the ground beneath, it was in the being carried, in the not drowning, in the quiet certainty that when the door closed, it was God who closed it. And He does not open in haste, nor shut in anger, but in love, final, complete. You can rest, not because the night is short, but because the keeper of the door does not sleep. The stars emerge. One, then another. Reflections tremble on the water. The river flows. You drift, and it is enough. The soul, anchored, at peace, the only safety that lasts.